Coming up on Midco Motorsports. It's a dirty job, but man, is it fun. We'll take you inside the filthy four-wheel festivities known as Vinnie's Mud Bog. Two local legends are enshrined at River Cites Speedway, while a future Hall of Famer makes a special appearance. Find out how Donny Schatz fared in his run with the late models. All that plus highlights from the 360 specials in Hartford and Rock Rapids, as well as the All-Star stop at Huset. The green flag drops now. And how's everybody doing? I'm Jay Elson, and this is Midco Motorsports. Well, it's becoming a tradition on a farm between Lidgerwood and Hankinson, North Dakota, as four-wheel drive fans from all across the region gather for a weekend filled with mud running and mud racing. Our own Greg Enkers made the trip to the event known as Vinnie's Mud Bog to see what all the noise is about.
Thousands are gathering for a weekend in southeastern North Dakota with any rig they can get their hands on. They come from all across the upper Midwest, and they're anticipating to have a good time.
It's great because there's more people like us out here to where a guy can mingle with others. You got campers, you got all this area out here. It should be a great time this weekend.
This is what everybody is hoping to try and make it through today. It's known as Vinnie's Mud Bog, and everybody's hoping they've got enough horsepower and clearance to make it through this muddy mess. Some make it through the mud pit with ease. Others struggle a bit. While a few often bite off more than they can chew. This event is now in its third year, and it continues to grow. About 700 more participants showed up this year than did a season ago for a weekend filled with thrills and spills.
This event started when my son went up to Howie's and enjoyed the event for 4 or 5 days, whatever's up at Howie's in Minnesota. And he came back to me and he said, "Dad, can we pull this off?" That was several years ago. I said, "No." And the year went by. "No, he can't." On the third year, he said, "Dad, I'm going to have a little mud run with our guys, just our local guys. You want to come and watch?" And so I watched. He let me drive his mud runner, and I fell in love with it. I just loved it, and it's enjoyable, and it's a chance to break out and have fun.
Feel good. Yeah, feel good.
It's fun. And you can do this and not get in trouble.
It's got to be the high horsepower mudslinging action. People love to see everybody having fun.
After 2 days of just trying to make it through Vinnie's Mud Bog, day 3 highlights something different. It fuels a need for speed as competitors get a chance to go side by side and see who is the quickest through the mud and the muck.
It's a family-oriented event. We want to make sure it's good, clean family fun in the mud. So it's it's an event that all families can come out. You got your own little groups of the Chevy lovers and the Ford lovers and the Dodge lovers, and they kind of make their little bets on who's going to win. It's really just a fun event.
And with so many friends and family competing, a little sibling rivalry can emerge, as it did for Evan and Kim Dittis, who found themselves side by side competing for a class championship.
Oh, it's awesome. Him and I have this thing going. Last year I won out more races than he did, so now it's just kind of been a race who can beat each other more times. So far he's ahead this year with a couple other wins on me, so I thought I would come back and try it today, but I lost him again.
It's a lot of fun. It's fun to see who will win in the end, and normally I end up winning this summer. Last summer it was a different story though.
While winning is nice, the event continues to keep fun as their main priority.
It's been an adventure, and I don't want to stick my neck out too far, but I want it to grow for the people to enjoy.
And that's what will keep these mudslinging enthusiasts coming back for more in the future.
Can't wait for next year.
And that again was Greg Enkers reporting. Now, in addition to all the fun in the mud, event organizers make sure there's also plenty of evening entertainment with lots of live music on Friday and Saturday nights. Next year's event is slated for July 17th through the 19th. Hall of Famers, Donny Schatz, and speedy school buses made for a big night at River Cites Speedway. We've got the highlights next.
Midco Motorsports on Midco Sports Network is presented by Butler Machinery.
Donny Schatz made his name in sprint cars, but he's never hidden his love for late models. Friday, Schatz took advantage of a rare Free Friday on his World of Outlaws schedule to do a little fender racing in Grand Forks. It was also Hall of Fame night at the Bull Ring. This year's inductees, Mike Dobmeyer and Brian Strand, honored in a pre-race ceremony. Let's get moving. Great battle from the start of the Street Stocks feature between the 18 of Mike Anderson and the 10R of Travis Robertson. Anderson led early, but Robertson takes over the lead on lap 9. To the white flag, Robertson gets some heat from the 25 of Ryan Johnson, but he hangs on. He puts the 10R in victory lane for the first time at River Cites Speedway. The Midwest Modifieds were up next. Picking up on lap 14, Rick Hamill has the 22 comfortably in front until he runs into lap traffic. Hamill gets hung up, allowing Matt Scow to shoot to the front just before the caution flag comes out. Fast forward to the final lap. Tyler Peterson looking to steal the lead away from Scow, but the caution comes out again as the two reach turn 3. That sets up a green-white checkered finish, and this time Scow able to slam the door for his first win of the year. That meant it was time for the late models feature. Schatz in his 15 machine would start up front, but he didn't stay there long. The 71 of Stefan Snare takes over the top spot on the opening lap. He and Schatz rekindled their battle a few laps later, and Snare, not backing down from the 5-time World of Outlaws champ, he answers Schatz's move with one of his own the next time around. His lead would hold up until lap 12. That's when Joey Peterson finds some traction on the inside part of the track. He battles with Snare and eventually overtakes the 71. And the 7P stayed in front the rest of the way. Peterson beats out Schatz and company for his 4th win of the year at River Cites.
You know, anytime you get a name in the house like Donny Schatz or any of these other, last weekend, of course, was the Outlaws, but not to make excuses, but I truly don't have an equal car to them guys. So Donny comes in tonight with an equal car, or close to it anyway, and that's really a true test.
Back to the track for the sprint feature now, and on the opening lap, Alex Larson moves past Thomas Kennedy for the lead, but it was brief because out of nowhere, here comes the 13 of Mark Dobmeyer. He dips low on Larson, takes over that top spot. Lap 10, Dobmeyer working through lap traffic with the 8H of Jade Hastings, spins out right in front of him in turn 2. Dobmeyer, though, able to sneak around him to retain the lead. On the restart, Dobmeyer getting chased by Kennedy, but Kennedy loses control along the top and tumbles off the track in turn 2. Kennedy, fortunately, would be okay, but his night was finished. Dobmeyer would control the race from there. He gets his 105th career victory at RCS on the same night his dad is inducted into the track's Hall of Fame.
I got all the appreciation in the world for him. He's done a lot for me in my career and got me that first step to get going. And I'd say the first couple steps, and then after that, a few other guys kind of stepped in. Dave Lunstra and Ryan Grindy and several sponsors. Everybody kind of pitched in to keep this deal rolling as big as we possibly can get it. So it was just an extra special night. I have a lot of friends and family out here, and it was a great night for us here.
The show wasn't over yet. The annual school bus race, which was rained out last month, some serious side-by-side action on lap 5 as they go 4 wide into turns 3 and 4. Eventually, it's Doug Doogie Hauser gaining the lead, and he would take the Pain Train number 14 bus all the way to the checkered flag. Hauser gets the win. He is your school bus champion for 2014. Let's head south to Rock Rapids. Rapid Speedway hosting 360 sprints in the Minnesota Mafia for the second time in as many weeks. But the fenders were up first. We begin with the hobby stock feature. Halfway through, Dylan Fitzpatrick leads with defending Huset's champ Dustin Gulbranson giving chase. The 6-car makes the pass in the front stretch here, but didn't get it done in time. A caution wipes it out and moves Fitzpatrick back to the front. He was still there when they reached the white flag, but here comes Justin Regnerus. Watch this. Sparks fly as the 32 edges the 38S at the line. It's the second win of the season for Regnerus. Move to the USRA B mods. Few laps in, Kevin Jokum owns the lead, the 27 car, but Cody Arndt closing quickly in the 84, and the next time around, Jokum no longer able to hold him off. Arndt, who hadn't finished better than 4th all season, gains the lead and never looks back. He cruises to his first win of 2014. On to the USRA stock cars. The 22E of Eric Gull looked to be the car to beat in this one. He was in complete control until a mechanical issue forced him off the track. Gull would end up finishing 9th. That opened the door for Little Rock's John DeVore. He was chasing his first win in 4 years, and he refused to let it slip through his fingers. DeVore outruns 2-time defending track champ Rich Gregoire over the final few laps to get that elusive checkered flag. That brings us to the 360 Sprint Special, 9th points race of the season for the Minnesota Mafia. Kevin Flowers got off to a great start and moved into the early lead. He was running well, as was Dusty Ballinger. The 2D started 6th after the redraw, but it didn't seem to matter. Ballinger into second and gunning for the lead, but he gets a little too aggressive here, slides into Flowers as they come out of turn 2, and that would end Flowers' night and send Ballinger to the back for the restart. That was great news for Tommy Barber as the 75 gets handed the lead, though he would definitely have to fight to keep it. Greg Baker charging hard behind him. The 11X started 7th, but moves into 2nd here after passing pole setter Ryan Bickett. A couple laps later, Baker nearly gets by Barber as well, but the 75 able to fend him off, coming out of 4. To the white flag lap, Baker with one more chance to make a move, and he almost gets him. The 11X gets caught in lap traffic, and Barber holds on to get the win, becoming the 9th different driver to win a Minnesota Mafia event this season.
Went out there, I thought I was good, and I started hearing something. I looked down, I seen Baker, so I got a little nervous those last 3-4 laps. I do everything I could to keep him off me.
Baker's runner-up finish was enough to move him into the top spot in the latest Minnesota Mafia standings. Haley Garst, who wrecked in his heat race on Friday, drops 1 spot to 2nd. With the 360 Nationals moving, drivers got one final test run at Knoxville Raceway. Find out which guy cashed in on that opportunity after this.
Midco Motorsports on Midco Sports Network is presented by Butler Machinery.
And welcome back. Well, the busy season has officially arrived at Knoxville Raceway. The first sign of that came Saturday night as drivers from all over the country flocked to the track to get one final tune-up ahead of this week's 360 Nationals. Let's get right to the action. 40 cars started the night, but only 24 made the 18-lap A main. Skip ahead to lap 5, and Justin Henderson, who started 4th, flies around the top side to secure the silver spot. But he wouldn't stop there. 7 laps later, Henderson has a beat on race leader Josh Boffman, and he sprints by the 17 to take over first. And that was the end of the suspense. Henderson takes the checkered flag for his 3rd career 360 win at Knoxville. The 410s were up next. Pick it up with the lap 14 restart. Watch the move by Brian Brown. Slides by Dusty Zollmer for the runner-up spot and nearly gets the 2-for-1 deal. He and Ian Madsen would swap the lead in the following circuit, with Madsen eventually winning the battle. Scary stuff behind them with 3 laps to go. Violent crash off turn 4 as John Agin gets blasted midair by Dakota Hendrickson. Hendrickson's throttle sticks, sending him into the wall hard as well. Clinton Jeffrey was also involved in the pileup. Fortunately, though, everyone was okay. Things got messy again on the ensuing restart. Brown tries to pass Madsen on the inside, but Madsen runs him into the berm, sending Brown spinning into the wall. He too was okay. All right, let's try it again on lap 18. Dusty Zollmer now making a bid for the top spot on the restart. Gets around Madsen briefly, but the 18 just too strong on this night. Madsen sails back by the 91 and goes on for his second win of the year at Knoxville. Back to South Dakota now. It's the Paramount Racing Series at I-90 Speedway in Hartford. Tricky track conditions in this one led to a short and sluggish hobby stock feature. Brian Hoying led most of the race, but he gets beaten on the green-white checkered finish by Zach Olivier. The 71 making the pass in the final quarter to pick up his third win of the year at I-90 and a 5-foot trophy to add to his collection.
It's really great for our momentum. I think we've gotten second about 5 or 6 times since the last time we've won a race, so definitely needed this win, and hopefully we can carry the momentum to the end of the season.
Not much question as to who had the best car in the B-Mods division on Saturday. Brandon's Dustin Cruz started first, and he stayed there. Cody Ard, who won at Rocky on Friday, tries to make a move in the final lap, but Cruz cruises into the winner's circle for the first time this year. To the street stocks now, where drivers found themselves in a game of catch-22, as in Gary Brown Jr. Green and white 22's had a rough few weeks in Hartford, but not on this night. He goes wire to wire for his 4th win of the season at I-90. $1,000 up for grabs in the final race of the night, the 360 sprint cars. But this too would be a one-man show. Pole setter Ryan Bickett settles in up front right off the start, and it was smooth sailing until he got into lap traffic. Points leader Troy Schurz got 3 separate shots at him amongst the back markers, but he's unable to overtake the 17. Schurz eventually fell back to 4th, but there would be no such trouble for Bickett. I-90's defending 360 champ ends a season-long drought with his first win of 2014.
We're trying to maybe go to 360 Nationals next weekend, so to get the car running good and car handling, I mean, that's a good momentum stride to get into to come into one of the biggest 360 races of the year.
The All-Stars returned to Huset on Sunday, and Ian Madsen had his sights set on a sweep. Find out if the 18 was able to get it done when we come back.
Midco Motorsports on Midco Sports Network is presented by Butler Machinery.
Ian Madsen might be finding his stride at the perfect time. The Aussie followed up last week's win at Huset's with his 4th career victory at Knoxville on Saturday. And one day later, Madsen looked to bring his run full circle as he sought a 3rd straight All-Star win in Brandon. First things first, it's the 12-lap hobby stock feature. Picking up on lap 10, 3-way race for the lead. Logan Fitzpatrick makes his move on the outside as Jim Ross spins out in the 14. Fitzpatrick takes the lead while Ross moves to the back of the field, so it's a green-white checkered finish, and Fitzpatrick able to hang on for his first career win at Huset's.
Actually, my first time ever winning. We tore it up pretty bad last night. My dad, my crew, everybody just worked their butts off, and we were able to get it back out here. And my cousin Tony is overseas in Afghanistan, and this one's 100% for him.
As for the standings, Dustin Gulbranson has some company at the top of the leaderboard now. Zach Olivier moves into a tie with the defending champ thanks to Sunday's runner-up finish. Fitzpatrick is a distant 3rd. There'd be more 3-way racing in the B-Mods division. The 7M of Maya Christensen takes the lead on the outside, while the 72 of Brad Haas and the 5 of Jared Nitro are sent spinning in turn 4. After the restart, Christensen runs into his own problems, and Nick Barger in the 14N gets physical to take the lead. A little damage to his car wasn't going to keep Barger out of victory lane. He gets his 2nd win of the season. The street stocks were up next, and Darren Cordles was on a mission. He passes the 56 of Zach Van Vorst early on and never looks back. Cordles dominates en route to his 5th win of 2014. That brings us to the 30-lap 24-car main event for the All-Star Circuit of Champions. The 99 car, Brady Bacon, who started second, gets out to the early lead with Rico Abreu and Mark Dobmeyer hot on his heels. Once the leaders get into lap traffic, Abreu makes his move. He gets around everybody, including Bacon, for the lead. Dobmeyer also gets past Bacon and into the second spot, and he looked hungry for the front. He was knocking on the door with 4 laps to go when the race goes red for the 44W of Austin Wheatley, who flipped in turn 2. Wheatley was okay. His car, however, not so much. After the restart, Abreu regains control. He hangs on for the final few laps to earn the All-Stars win, which was his first at Huset Speedway.
It's so cool. I've come so close a few times. Ran up front in the Outlaw race here last year and ran up front last weekend. And so I know I have a good car here. It's just about track position and getting good restarts and making good decisions in lap traffic.
So it's Abreu followed by Dobmeyer and Bacon. Tim Kading and Terry McCarroll also earned top 5 finishes, while Ian Madsen settles for 7th. We have reached the white flag. We'll wrap things up with a look at your weekend schedule next.
Midco Motorsports on Midco Sports Network is presented by Butler Machinery.
Here's a look at your Midco Motorsports calendar for the weekend ahead. Enjoy the races, everybody. We'll see you back here next week.